everybody. Sasha here. Welcome to the station. I've been recently reminded of the first months. And I want to say the first 3 months, but I know that is different for everybody. But just to give it a number, let's say 3, when you really feel like you're being hazed by the process. Not to say that, you're now overtaken with love and a bunch of wonderful new emotions for your little guy or girl, but at the same time, it is intense because you're not sleeping, okay? And sleep controls everything. So the first, let's say 3 months, you're just adjusting to a new lifestyle. And sleep, lack of sleep, changing sleep rhythms. You're no longer sleeping in one long go like you normally did, but now you're sleeping in partial waves throughout the day. And that baby needs to eat every 3 hours, and I don't really recall because I think once some time passes, I think in order to protect itself, the mind just puts those first months, those 3 months, into like a dark place where you can't recall it anymore. Because every time I speak to somebody about it, they don't remember. They just don't remember what happened. It was just like a whirlpool, from one thing to the next. And like I said, not to say it's not beautiful and all this, but you are learning from the beginning. I don't care what books you read or videos you watched, you are really starting from the beginning and you're picking up important things every day. Every day you're like, oh, I think that means he's got gas, or, oh, I think he's wet. Like you start picking up these things just by observation, and you learn, oh, if I swaddle them, they're calmer, or if this or that, So it's a very intense few months, and sometimes it's longer. Like I said, the things you pick up in those 3 months save your life. And I think set the stage in a way. I don't want to put a lot of pressure on it, but it sets the stage. I know it depends on what kind of baby you have and temperament, but if in those 3 months you can get the baby to, to sleep in their own bassinet, chances are that baby's going to be sleeping on his or her own. And this is just from, the conversations that I've had with my mommy friends. If you could get that baby to, and not to say in a different room, I'm just saying to sleep on their own without your body, which is, I realize, is much more difficult for those who are breastfeeding, for a year or 2 years or whatnot. But I did breastfeed, and I believe I immediately had, I'm trying to remember, I put him in a bassinet, which he did not like, of course, but we rocked it until it soothed him, and the whole rocking motion, what is that quote? Something is, invention is the mother of necessity is invention, something like this, which is so true. We were, we'd be sleeping and we had attached a cord to our bassinet that is not self-rocking, is a hand-me-down from a friend, and it would be wrapped around my finger so that if I heard him make a noise, I would start rocking him right away. That's how important that sleep was, and is still. Sleep is God. Poof. You do not wake a sleeping baby. That's rule number 1 in this house. But yeah, wrapping the baby nice and tight, was big, and there were many times when I would think, oh, he hates that. Oh, he's just not one of those babies that likes that. Um, in the end, it totally won to do it, because even though he would push one hand out, you know, that was his thing. It did calm down, and it did set the schedule in his mind that sleep was coming. He'd be wrapped up, he would be rocked, and he would start to understand that, oh, that's like peaceful time. This is the time also where you're setting your schedule for breastfeeding and feeding, and at 6 weeks you start to pump and that whole thing, and it's just a lot. The first 3 months are a lot. The first 3 months is almost like crazy time, crazy making time. And for me, having a stroller and going outside for walks, mind you, my baby was December baby, so it didn't matter whether it was snow or rain or wind out there, we were going out there. And just the walking, getting outdoors, was a lifesaver for me. And I remember the prospect of people coming over was not so exciting, because what they were really doing was taking away my rest, kind of, They were taking away the opportunity for me to eat something and sleep. So, when people come over, just kind of give them a job, because people want to help. So have like a list of things that you really want someone to do, but you just don't have the time. You could really ask someone to, hey, do you mind, taking out the trash? Do you mind washing those dishes? Do you mind, Swiffering the living room? Or, just doing one of these mundane jobs that it would kill you to get there. And if family's coming over, to ask them to make you food. Food. Don't cook. Just have somebody make you food if you can, because who's got time for that? If people are, people want to make you presents, maybe you're doing a baby shower, maybe they want to make you a present for a baby, I would honestly tell them not to give you any clothes or any of that crap. The only person that really knows what you need is you. So all the other stuff that they're giving you is just stuff. It's just stuff you have to store, because they're going to give you an outfit that's for an 8-month-old, and you're like, crap, well, he's 3 months old, like, what is he, or, they're going to give you things that are too small, too big, or maybe you have doubles. Just tell them to give you cash, and, certificates for food. You could always order food from your local pizzeria, whatever. It's just that those kind of things is what you need. Everything else, is not helpful. This is also a huge time of, I feel like, this is a huge time where I felt alone, because I didn't feel like I could really reach out to people to ask for help, because I associated that with being weak or not being enough. And, one of my friends, she just had a baby, and she put me on a group chat, and we're all just yapping away at how to make her experience easier. She's asking the right questions. She's like, what do I do? He's not sleeping. What my breast is leaking. Like, and there are 3 mommies on this chat, and she's getting all that information that would have been so freaking useful if I would have reached out like she did. So hooray, to her for being stronger than I was. So yeah, it's also an amazing time for, remembering that you are doing an amazing job. There was a voice inside of me that kept judging me, that I wasn't doing enough, that I could have been doing more, that the house could have been cleaner, but I was doing an amazing job. And, my sister told me that, and it really hit home that she would say something like that, because not only is she a mom, but she knows what I need to be reminded of. And she probably is speaking from experience. You know, you have to remind yourself that you are doing so good and so much and plenty. And you're a freaking hero. You're a hero. You know, and if this video is being watched by a dad, you're a hero too. You know, it's a lot of work for the both of you. You know, it takes two to make the process peaceful than it can be. So yeah, the first few months, just, you know, find your schedule, find your rhythm, give yourself some slack, give yourself a huge ass pat on the back, go outside, learn to, as I would say, travel with the baby, get comfortable with, just get into a car. You're gonna take a lot of crap with you because you think you're gonna need it. You're gonna use 3 items, but that's how you learn what to do and how to be mobile so that you're not stuck in the house, you know, with the walls around you. Find a park nearby, go to your library, find out maybe there's some baby events near you, create baby events, be the pioneer, and remember that you're an amazing mom and you're doing so good. And, you know, I don't know how, but it's been a year since he's been born. And I remember thinking how slow time was moving. I remember thinking, wow, you know, 8 weeks. It seems like it's been forever. And then boom, it's been a year. So time has a way of tick-tocking. You know, do your best. Lots of love.